So today's video is going to be bike-specific exercises that you can do at home that again require very little equipment. Obviously most of us, even if we're stuck at home, might have access to some kind of bike trainer. So these exercises can be used as a really good warm-up or a supplement to help with your bike training. If you haven't got access to a bike, then this is a great alternative as well.
Yeah, so some of you may have seen our recent video on swim-specific exercises. This is obviously more looking at bike-specific exercises, but again, if you can incorporate this into your weekly routine, then you're going to be having 2 or 3 different core exercises and bike-specific exercises that's only going to make you stronger in the long run.
Okay, let's go. This exercise is called wall sits. For this exercise, all you need is a wall, obviously, given the name. The key coaching points are to be able to have 90-degree angle in your legs, and then this can be progressed to doing single leg, so you're in that same position but raising one leg at a time, trying to keep the hips level and the back pressed into the wall. And then you can progress this further by including a weight and doing double leg, and then having the weight and going to do the single legs as well.
So the next group of exercises are based around the simple squat movement. We have done them in 4 stages of progression, working from easiest to most difficult. First off, starting with just a normal body weight squat, and then progressing to a body weight squat including some weight. Moving on to a more challenging exercise which requires the use of a Bosu or any kind of unstable surface. This challenges the core along with making it quite difficult on the leg muscles to stabilise while going through the squat motion. And finally, a real burn exercise is working on an unbalanced surface such as a Bosu, squatting but keeping the range of motion just above and just below 90 degrees and going backwards and forwards between the two. You can do this for a period of 30 to 60 seconds. You can really start to feel the burn there. And if you really want to challenge it even further, you can play a simple game of catch with a partner while trying to maintain that position.
This exercise is called Walkouts. This exercise is useful for swim, bike and run, as it is really working your core muscles whilst giving you a bit of a hamstring stretch as well, which is obviously useful for both bike and run. The main focus on this one is to challenge yourself by trying to walk your hands out as far as you can go without falling onto the floor, and then walking your feet up to meet your hands, and then repeating that process.
So the next exercise is called runners, but it's also very useful for cycling. The key coaching points for this exercise is to keep your core engaged. We spoke about this on the last video that we did about how to engage your core, and it's simply just pulling your belly button in, keeping everything tight. You're going to be working alternating legs, and this is very good for your hip flexors, quad strength, and when you progress it, as you'll see now, you can add further resistance to this exercise by using a band, and if you haven't got a band, you can use something such as an inner tube. And finally, you can make this into a plyometric exercise by doing the exercise explosively.
This exercise is called Glute Bridge. Most of you may have done this exercise before, so we have shown you a variation of progressions you can do from your basic glute bridge that obviously is really engaging your glute muscles, working through your back as well and your hamstrings to hold that solid glute bridge position. You can progress this to doing single leg, so one leg raised at a time. Then you can progress it further to add an ankle weight, which does make it a lot more difficult. And then again, you can do two different variations where you put an object between your legs, say a medicine ball, a cushion, and you're actually squeezing that weight, so you're really engaging your adductor muscles. And then you can do the reverse of that by putting something like a band, an inner tube or something elastic around your quad muscles. By adding a band, you will really challenge your abductors and you'll start to feel the burn more on the outside, whereas with the ball, you will feel the burn in the inside. This exercise is called Mule Kicks, and from the outside it looks like a really easy exercise, but if you're doing it properly, it's really, really difficult. You're on all fours and obviously bringing your knee upwards and raising your foot up. The main coaching points are to not let your back tip. So to check if you're doing it right, you can add something like a ball onto your lower back, and if it stays in position, you're doing the exercise really well. In the beginning, the ball used to always fall off for me, so I've managed to progress it to this stage. Once you get to the point that that's pretty easy, you can add in ankle weights to give you that little bit extra burn through those glutes. And you really will start to feel this, and obviously your glutes do a hell of a lot of work, particularly when you're riding in the aero position, so a great exercise for that.
So now moving on to my least favourite core exercise of all time, planks. We used to have to do loads of planks and I've never ever been very good at them. Lucy's always been quite good, but not me. Standard plank, everyone knows the exercise. It's very simple, but it's very effective. You can progress the exercise by adding some weight. I wouldn't recommend going too heavy, keeping it probably no more than 10% of your body weight. Putting it on your upper back as well, don't load your lower back. And if you want to challenge your core even further, you can take your elbows out further in front of you, so you're doing like a spread plank. But for most people, the normal plank is more than challenging enough. Simple ways of progressing it are just simply adding more time to each rep.
And you can also go through lifting each limb individually and doing that as a little bit of a circuit around your body. I actually find that raising the arms is a lot more difficult than raising the legs, so yeah, let us know how you get on with that one. This exercise is called Clams, and we do actually progress to single leg raises as well. But the main coaching points for the Clams are you want to be lying on your side and you would like to have your heels in line with your bottom, and then you're just raising that knee up enough so that your hip doesn't twist. And again, you'll really start to feel this burning in your glute muscle. To progress this, you can add something like a resistance band, an inner tube, anything that just adds that little bit more resistance. And then you can progress this further to doing single leg raises. And once that becomes quite easy and you're able to do, say, 30 reps quite comfortably, you can add something like an ankle weight to increase that burn again.
So thanks very much for watching our bike-specific workouts that you can do from the comfort of your own home.
And if you haven't done already, then make sure to share with us all of the ways you've been doing your exercises and thinking outside of the box. Comment below any exercises that you've been doing as well to give us inspiration, because we're also stuck at home, so any new exercises you've got for us, we would love to see that. Yes, you can comment that below or even tag us on videos on Instagram so we can share those with the rest of the world.
Drinking all the time, you just wanna get away. Come hop up in my ride. 2 goofies on the run, couple 40s in the backseat. Spirits in my lungs, got my voice a little raspy. Turn me to a yes man. Before we do this, girl, I got a question. If I take you down, would you really hold
And if you want to see our previous video on swim-specific workouts that you can do from home, then click here.
And if you haven't already subscribed to our channel, then click here.